Today we're going to be talking about the best drills for youth wide receivers. Now this first drill is going to be working on our stick at the top of the route. So if we're running like a post route, or if we have a DB who's lined up in press coverage and we're trying to make him miss with this stick off the line of scrimmage. So this drill is called a 5-cone stick drill. So what you need is you need 5 cones in a line right here, maybe about a yard of space in between each cone. You're going to start it on the right side or the left side of these cones. You're just going to have your hands and your feet working like so. So what we're going to do is when we approach this box or this gap in between each cones, we're going to throw this stick and step over the line. As you step over the line, you don't want to just step and have your head and your hips stay square, because anytime a DB is guarding us, his eyes are supposed to be watching my hips. So I need to bring my hips with the cut. A good gauge on that is try to keep your head even with your knee. Then you're going to pop back out, throw the cut again, pop back out, throw the cut again, and I'm of course going to show you how this should look full speed, but you want to try to do, I would say, about 4 reps on the left leg, then 4 reps where you switch sides on the right leg. Now this next drill for youth wide receivers is going to be something called a snap fall drill. So this is going to be working on your hip drop at the top of a route, like a hitch, a curl, a comeback, whatever the case may be. So if I'm running a route, like let's say it's like a 12 back to 10 yard curl, my quarterback's over here. When I go up into that break, what slows me down is going to be my hip drop. Now I don't want a slow sink of my hips. I want my hips to drop as fast as possible. And I want to try to work on getting to a 90-degree angle, because that's a position where I'm slow enough to where I could decelerate, but also tall enough to where I can still keep my feet going and run out. Now the problem that a lot of youth wide receivers have is they lack strength and stability in that 90-degree position. When they'll drop into a break, they get their butt below their knees, or they break and they're super tall. So this drill works on that strength and stability at that 90-degree spot. So what you're going to do, you could use that same line of cones that we used for our very first drill. We're going to do 8 reps of this on the right leg and 8 reps of this on the left leg. But you're going to start out, you're going to have your hands behind your back, and what you're going to do is you're going to just pretty much lean and fall forward. Now the goal is to try to get my chest parallel to the ground. Now the last second before you feel like you're going to fall flat on your face, you're going to shoot a leg down to work on that quick, violent hip drop that I need to stop me at the top of a route. And I'm of course going to show you how this will look full speed, but essentially you're here, hands behind your back, you're going to fall, last second you're going to shoot through, and we are trying to hold 90 degrees. Do not drop below 90, don't let your back knee hit the ground, hold 90 degrees, then you're going to pop back up and repeat the process for 8 reps on the left leg and 8 reps on the right leg. I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed. Now before we get into our full speed example of our snap fall drill, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you would like a custom workout plan that I can design for you, check out that very first link in the description below for our new custom workout plan service. Essentially what the service is you'll be able to get access to a private email address where you could submit film to me, and we give you instructions of what type of film to submit, whether that's game film, practice film, film of you just running routes at a park. I will take a look at the film, I'll analyze it, I'll give you a video breakdown where I'll draw on the screen, talk about where you need to improve, and then I will give you an 8-week-long gym and field workout plan to fit your skills. Completely custom made. We have video examples of each exercise, and we give you the exact sets and reps to do. On Monday you're doing this, Tuesday you're doing that, etc. All custom tailored to fit your skill set and what you need to improve on. So guys, if you want some more information on that, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. Now this next drill for youth wide receivers is also going to build onto our hip drop mechanics that we need at the top of the route. But now before I get into a break like a hitch route, a comeback, a curl, even a 5-yard hitch route like I mentioned, guys, we have to be selling vertical. That means that we have to try to make this DB backpedal, open up his hips, and think that we are running a fade route. Now it's much easier said than done to be able to change direction on a dime while I'm selling fade, because what goes into selling fade is I obviously have to run hard. I need to have good body language. That's what that snap fall drill was working on. Was like, I tell my wide receivers sometimes going into a break, think of it like you're running with a speed sled and you're pulling a sled. You don't want any change in the frequency of your pad level, because the second you start to raise up to drop your hips, that's an indicator to the DB that you are making a break. Now, another indicator to a DB, which is what this drill is going to work on, is changing up your stride frequency. So going into a break, like let's say for example, I got a break at this top like pink cone over here. I don't want to come off the ball, first 5 yards I got long powerful strides, and then the last 5 yards, I start to shorten up my steps because I'm preparing for the break. I want to get comfortable letting my hips be the thing that change direction for me, and I got to be able to get comfortable changing direction while I'm running in that full stride position. So that's what this drill is for. So this drill is called a high knee hip drop. So you need 3 cones evenly spaced out, I would say maybe about 3 to 4 yards, and all you're going to do, set, go, you're coming out, we're just going to be doing simple high knees. Now when I'm doing my high knees, it's not low knees. I want to try to get my knees up as high as I possibly can, and then when I see this cone out of my peripherals, and we're of course going to show you this full speed, when I see this cone, I'm going to drop. And this doesn't need to be one step like the snap fall drill. This could be a 2-step break, but we're holding that 90-degree spot. Then we pop right back up, do the exact same thing. Second cone, we're dropping right to that 90-degree spot again. So this is a drill that I would like to see you guys do for about 6 reps. And working through this, I'll show you how this should look full speed. Now this next drill for youth wide receivers also builds off of us dropping our hips, but now this is a more so full speed version of those last 2 drills that we did. So I call this our 3-cone hip drop drill. So what you're gonna do is you need a starting point here, which is this orange cone lined up. You're gonna get in your receiver stance and you need 3 additional cones laid out in front of you that are about 5 to 6 yards apart, each one of them evenly spaced out. So what we're gonna do, set, go. We're bursting up to this first cone, long strides, good speed, good body language, no change in the frequency of my stride and of my body language. No indicators to this DB. And then as soon as I see this cone out of my peripherals, I'm going to drop quick. Now when I drop, my goal is to try to keep my weight on the ball of my foot. You don't have to be on your tippy toes. You could get your whole foot down, but the weight should be on the ball of your foot because it's a quick drop. Re-accelerate up to the next cone, which is about 5 yards away. Quick drop, re-accelerate to the last cone, and then again, quick drop, and we're going to burst up vertical. Now, if you have a quarterback, I realize a lot of you watching this maybe don't have a quarterback. If you have a quarterback, put him at the end of this drill, and when you're running at him, have him throw you a pass. This is a great 3-cone hip drop drill that you could do. I recommend working this for about 4 sets on the right side, 4 sets on the left. I'm going to show you how this thing should look full speed. Now this next drill for youth wide receivers, I call our cone 45-degree angle zigzag drill, if you will. So what you're gonna do is you need 4 cones. You need a starting cone here, and then at a 45-degree angle, you need your first cone, 45-degree angle off of that cone, you need your second cone, and then 45-degree angle off of that, you need your 4th cone. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now from cone to cone, you guys, we're gonna work on our single cut. So it's very similar to that first drill that we talked about. We were working on that stick off the line, top of the route. Now we're gonna be actually running and cutting off of that single foot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna burst off here, set, go. To this first cone. Don't treat that first cone like you have to come out and get to the cone and reach and drag your back foot. The cone is just a guideline of where I want your hips and your shoulders to face. We are solely focused on only taking 3 steps, very similar to a 3-step slant, or for example, let's say I'm running like a post corner route, right? I break to the post. How many steps do I take? 1, 2, 3. I cut back and then I'm out. So don't worry about getting to the cone. Just worry about taking 3 steps like a 3-step slant or like a double move route. So what you're doing, set, go, we come off. It's 1, 2, 3. My hips and my shoulders are committed to the cone for the entire 3 steps, so I can sell vertical or whatever route I'm trying to sell with my upper body. So as soon as I hit that 3rd step, I'm gonna push off. 1, 2, 3 again. As soon as I hit my 3rd step here, push off. 1, 2, 3 again, burst out. And I could have a quarterback give me a ball on like a post route. If you don't have a quarterback, feel free to just work through this drill full speed. So I recommend doing about 5 reps of this where you're going right, right, and then 5 reps where you're going left, left to work on the other side. So that's 10 reps total. I'm gonna show you how this thing should look full speed. Now, before we get to that full speed example, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and you would like to train with us this off season, we're coming out to 8 more states across the country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. Our next camp is going to be in Buffalo, New York. Then we'll be heading out to Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boise, Idaho. But guys, all 5 of those camps are completely sold out. We only have 2 camps with remaining spots open, and that's our camp in Detroit, Michigan and Los Angeles, California. So guys, if you're local to one of those 2 cities, check out that very first link in the description below. It's where you can sign up and get access to one of our last remaining 4 to 5 spots in those camps. These camps are gonna fill up. Within the next week, they will be completely sold out. Now, if you're local to one of those 7 cities that we listed off first and you would like to be added to our wait list, again, check out that very first link in the description below. It's where you get all the information on how to sign up, how to get added to our list to train with us this off season. We appreciate it, fellas. Now this next drill is going to be a great drill for youth wide receivers to work on their hands, their over-the-shoulder catching ability when they don't have a quarterback to throw to them. So this drill you could do literally in your room, in your backyard. You don't need any space for this. You just need a little bit of space above your head. So what you're going to do is get a football, and you're going to toss this football up in the air. Toss it as high as you want, right? It really doesn't matter. Obviously, don't toss it like this, but toss it. Try to get it maybe about like 5 feet above your head, I would say. So when you toss this ball up, what you're going to do is as soon as you see that ball start to come down, you are going to clap your hands twice behind your back and then catch this ball, forcing us to have to keep my eyes on this ball, even when my hands are distracted, like I got somebody pulling on my arm while I'm running a route, like I'm hand fighting and that ball's in the air. Now this is another great drill to work on something called having late hands. So if I'm running a fade route, and a lot of young wide receivers don't know this, but this guy's on my hip, ball's thrown over the shoulder, a lot of wide receivers will raise their hands up and go to the ball. This DB is not playing he's not looking around playing the ball, running with his head back like this because he's going to lose us. He's playing us. When he sees my hands go up early, he knows exactly where to shoot his hands through to make a play on the ball. So we want to have late hands. I want to trust my eyes and I want to catch this thing about chest level so I can put it away quickly and that DB doesn't have a chance to make a play. So this works on hand-eye coordination, having late hands. Again, you toss that ball up in the air on the way down, clap twice, look that thing in and catch. I'm going to show you how this should look full speed.